professional lecturer in industrial engineering. He was chair of the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development from 2011 to 2012. Considering the fact that the Philippines is interested in furthering its space involvements, it's most welcome. Space, space technology development, big words. All right. We'd like to welcome our guest today, Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary Abella. Good morning to everyone. This is a very good opportunity to share with you our programs at the Department of Science and Technology, which for which we have a how do you call it, motto or science for the people. So the next slide will show us that there are actually four among the 10-point agenda of President Duterte where we think we can contribute from the sector of science and technology. And the first one, of course, for the first time in our history, a president has included the promotion of science, technology, and innovation in his priority agenda. The second one is increasing competitiveness. The third is promoting value chain development. And the fourth is investing in human capital. In all of this, we believe the science and technology sector and DOST in particular can contribute significantly. The next one, actually the basis for our new Philippine Development Plan, which we are happy to announce has been approved last February 20, is based on this, shall we say, policies of enhancing the social fabric, reducing inequality, and increasing the potential for growth. So all our programs are actually supportive of this. The next slide shows, actually this is a 12-item agenda in our plan, and there are first among these would be the research and development component. This is our biggest activity, one of our biggest activity, research and development, and we have categorized them into a number of categories. The first one is those that will address pressing problems. An example will be in the area of health self-sufficiency. We are expanding our drug discovery and development program together with the others like diagnostics development, biomedical engineering, malnutrition reduction, and early detection of disease outbreak. The next slide, still on pressing problems, we have this agenda on food and nutrition. We are still one of the countries in the region which has a very high incidence of malnutrition among children below 3 years old. The next one is an agenda. Richard, please, next slide, is this is on the agricultural side, and our priorities are really, number one, reinvigorating the coconut industry through new technologies for replanting. And of course, we have been focusing now on how we can propagate and improve the variety of our native livestock like native chicken, native ducks, native pigs, because in the long run, we forecast that we will be depending a lot more on these native varieties. Of course, we are addressing disease prevention, particularly in the export commodities like abaca, banana, coconut, and papaya, and the increase of resiliency of our crops because of the environmental stresses caused by climate change. Another would be in the area of research and development for biodiversity and sustainable development. We have here, for example, our researches on mangrove rehabilitation, on indigenous forestry species, and maybe we should include here the coral reef restorations. The next would be in the area of transport. This has been started during the earlier administration, and we are continuing our research and development for public transport. You may have heard about the hybrid road train, about the automated guideway transit system, about the coaches that and trains that we have developed, hopefully to be adopted by the Philippine National Railways. And we will start this research on small island transport. Others will be in the area of productivity, in agriculture, Next will be in the area of productivity in the manufacturing sector. Next will be in the area of tapping and managing and storing renewable energy resources. So we are devoting R&D resources for that. The next one is in the area of applying new technologies across sectors where you have the modern or emerging technologies like biotechnology, nanotechnology, genomics, information and communications technology, and nuclear science. They can actually be applied in almost all sectors from agriculture to health to industry to environment. And there are two new programs that we are launching. The program on artificial intelligence, because we foresee a growing market for artificial intelligence products, and the program on space technology development, which started with our launching in 2016 of Diwata 1, the first microsatellite of the Philippines, and actually cited by NASA as the poster child of microsatellites. Okay, the next would be a very big area of concern, and this is the disaster risk reduction and climate change. We are now in the full implementation of the Pag-asa Modernization Law. We are thankful about the support given to us because DBM has allocated and given us the necessary budget to acquire the needed equipment. And of course, this area actually gets an allocation of about one-fourth of our R&D, itong climate change. Maybe just to emphasize the importance of this, we have a newly appointed Undersecretary for Disaster Risk Reduction in the person of Dr. Ernesto. We have Agenda 5, of course. These are the various research projects that you have here. The different names that you have there: hazard mapping, flood forecasting, and other technologies related to forecasting extreme weather conditions actually are can be summed up in the program NOAA, which has been turned over actually to the different agencies. We had the official turnover of the technologies last Monday. Then we have Agenda 6. Next, still on Agenda 5, we are of course rendering regular services through Pag-asa and through the PHIVOLCS in particular on geologic and geophysical phenomena. So they actually prepare also our people for disasters caused by earthquakes, and they do studies about earthquakes, although of course earthquake is not yet easy to predict. Okay. The next one, still on disaster and climate change, we have the improvement in the weather prediction, in even in the preparedness for volcano, earthquake, and tsunami disasters, and the different development of spatial models for comprehensive land use planning, because we know that in planning for the use of land, you should know where the faults lie, okay, and where the hazards lie. In the next, you see we have a very long list of researches in climate change and disaster risk reduction. Next will be in the area of maximizing utilization of research results through technology transfer or commercialization. Because we are investing much in research and development, we have to make sure that the results of research and development are utilized by the intended sectors or segments. So there are results of R&D. For example, they can be technologies, they can be products, they can be systems, they can be new information. And our targets are the other line agencies who are in the first place with us in deciding which research projects we will undertake. But when we have to roll them out, it should actually be through the line agencies also, whether it is in agriculture or health or industry. And here in the maximization of the results of R&D, you can see here an example is would be the outputs of our research on disaster risk management. The results are turnover, okay, in terms of flood, hazard, resource, and vulnerability maps to local government units. I was in Zamboanga last Thursday, and this was one of the things that we had to do to brief the LGUs, okay, regarding this. The deployment of early warning systems, actually, we did instrument or equipment development, locally developed equipment like automatic rain gauges, automatic weather stations. These are now locally developed products, and there are already companies who have taken the licenses to manufacture, and this can be deployed in the different parts of the country. Agenda 7 is, of course, assistance to the production sector. This is not R&D, but actual services. You can see, for example, the word One Lab. Okay, we introduced an innovation by creating a network of laboratories. We started with the 30, how many? 15 regional laboratories of DOST and 9 national laboratories under DOST. That makes 22. We were recently joined by the Department of Health Laboratories, and we expect some more government laboratories to participate in this one lab concept. This is really the use of ICT also in facilitating the services. So if you go to a laboratory, for example, in Butuan City, and you have a sample to be tested, and if they don't have the facilities there, they will not reject you. They will accept the sample, they will take care of sending it to the nearest laboratory in the network, and you can claim your results where you have delivered it, or you can just indicate that you want to get the results in email. Okay, and we are now arranging for the e-payment system, most likely through the land bank. The One Expert is for S&T services. It's really an information system that provides names of experts in almost every area of science and technology, where it can help our businesses, industry, and academia. One Store, we signed an agreement yesterday with the Development Bank of the Philippines. It's an online selling facility. We started this as an assistance to our beneficiary enterprises, because we assist small-scale enterprises to upgrade their technology. And now they are also have to be supported in terms of marketing. Since One Store is a technology-based system for marketing, we had attracted the attention of other interested agencies. Now DTI also, and even our inventors group, okay, have been joining us. We have signed the agreement with Land Bank yesterday. They will handle the e-payment system. It's something like with the help of logistics providers like Air 21 or the bus companies, they can be delivered right at your doorstep. Okay, and the fee is at a minimum around 2%, except if you want it to be delivered right at your house, there is a 150 pesos extra charge for a maximum of 5 kilograms. Okay. Anyway, all of these are services: packaging, labeling, testing for quality, etc. Agenda 8 is the upgrading of our facilities, and this will mean that we have to invest more in our laboratories, in our so-called product development centers, and we are actually having as a priority the capacitating the research centers in the regions, particularly those found in the universities in the regions, because you can observe that most of the excellent laboratories are found in the highly urbanized areas. We think that it is high time that we also assist the research centers in the regions. This is consistent with the desire of the President to hasten the development in the regions. We will also have business incubators in the regions. This is a map of the new incubators that we are putting up for startup companies. The next agenda is human resource development, and let me just very quickly state that we support scholarships at different levels. We start with secondary, where we have been operating the Philippine Science High School for the last 52 years, and now we have opened the last 2 regional campuses of Philippine Science High School, with the opening last August of the regional campus in Mimaropa, located in Romblon, and the regional campus for the Zamboanga Peninsula, located in Dipolog. So we have already complied with the provision of law that there should be one campus of Philippine Science High School in every region of the country. So the others are scholarships for baccalaureate, where we have around 15,000 scholars. We take in around 5,000 scholars every year. And around 10% of that, 90% of those are really below the poverty level, okay? And we have shown through studies that for every poor scholar that we have graduated at DOST, he can actually lift his whole family from poverty. Now we are concentrating also on the MS and PhD scholarships because we are behind in terms of the recommended figures for this. Now agenda number 10 is really what I already indicated earlier, that of really going all out into the regions, okay? Because we think that we have to make the people in the regions feel the benefits from science and technology. So from laboratories to the delivering of scholarships in the region to the Science Teacher Academy for the regions where we are helping DepEd to train teachers in science and math and others. Agenda 11 would be the collaboration with industry, academia, and international institutions. Very recently, we have made an announcement, a commitment to the ASEAN Committee on Science and Technology that we will invite researchers in the regions to benefit from the training that we will be delivering to our researchers. So instead of just purely having 100% local participants, we are reserving slots for ASEAN participants as a commitment to ASEAN. Remember, this is ASEAN Philippine chairmanship of ASEAN, and the international collaborations, very good indications because there has really been an increase in terms of the number of countries who want to collaborate with us, and we really have to, well, choose where to focus. So that in essence would be the agenda that we have, and one thing that I can say, we really would like to contribute to the President's, shall we say, desire of reducing inequality, of creating opportunities, and of expanding our potentials for growth. Thank you very much.
MPC questions? Questions, MPC? Ace? Rose? May tanong. Rose Cos?
Good afternoon, sir. After po ma-ratify ni Pangulong Duterte yun pong Paris Climate Change Agreement, may relevance ba ito sa DOST? And ano po ang madadagdag sa DOST after po na pagtibayin ng Pangulo? Ito po.
Well, with the approval, then we have to really focus our programs on how to meet the commitment of the Philippines. For example, we have made a commitment that between the years 2000 to 2030, we have to reduce our carbon emissions by 70%. That's really a big commitment, and so we have to intensify our research on renewable energies, on energy conservation, and on other areas where we think this is really more on energy use, on energy conservation, and of course in terms of protecting the environment. So we have to improve our programs, like for example in our assistance to small scale enterprises, where before we enable them to acquire equipment for production. Now we are opening the system to companies who want to improve, to change, let's say, from traditional energy source to renewable, so we can help them acquire the needed equipment. The same is true for the use of water. We can assist them if they want to install equipment or systems that can save water in their companies. So these are things that, of course, education will also be an important part.
Ace Romero, Philippine Star.
Secretary, the President previously revealed that there were debates regarding the climate deal. Isa po ba kayo dun sa nagsulong nung climate deal, at doable ba yung 70% considering na hindi naman tayo major pollutant?
Oo. Well, actually, ito ay nangyari noong 2015, and I understand. Mauumpisa lang ako sa inyo. Ako po'y nag-retire na noong 2014 at natawag uli ako ngayon 2016. So, yung mga nangyari noon, hindi ko alam ang detalye. But I understand that the DOST was a major participant in the development of our stand in the Paris Agreement, and so whatever difficulties we may encounter, we are bound to extend our support to that. So I think it is doable if all sectors will cooperate.
Okay, isang tanong na lang po para sa akin. Clarification lang yung kay Director Solidum. He is daw the Undersecretary
For disaster risk reduction and climate change affairs.
pero sa FIBOX pa rin po siya.
I am recommending that he be retained as officer in charge of
Officer,
PBOX.
pero papalitan po siya eventually.
Maybe eventually. Oh.
So hindi siya pwedeng concurrent.
Hindi pwede. Kailangan isa lang ang kanyang position.
So he is on
Pwede
his,
siya mag-OIC sa
So he's
PBOX.
on his way out sa FIBOX.
Ha?
Are we saying he's on his way out sa FIBOX? As
Maybe
PBOX
we
chief.
will have to wait and see. Kung kaya naman niyang hawakang pareho, it's possible na pwede naman as OIC, pero not forever.
OI. So pero para sa inyo dapat isa lang yung pwesto niya.
Actually, dapat 2 tao yun.
Opo.
But then, he has so many ongoing programs in PBOX na sa tingin ko, maganda kung medyo hawakan pa niya, even as OIC.
Okay, salamat po.
Tsaka hinihiling ng mga tao sa PBOX na siya muna ang OIC.
Salamat po.
Okay. MPC? More questions? No more? Okay. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you,
Maraming
DOST
salamat,
Secretary Fortunato Dela Pena, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Thank you po. Salamat.
Would you like to stay for lunch?
Yes.
All right. Good morning. As the good secretary has indicated that the president has intentions for nation building, we'd like to continue to give you updates regarding what is happening locally. Additional 1,000 jobs in roll-off in auto manufacturing. We are pleased to announce the production of 200,000 units of Mirage G4, which the President launched in Malacanang last February 27, which will result in the generation of about 1,000 jobs for Filipinos. The production of Mirage G4 falls under the Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy, or CARS program, chaired by the DTI. Also, regarding some the Office of the President will submit the signed instrument of accession to the Senate for concurrence today. We have a copy. It will be made available by. Right, it will be made available to Ms. Queenie. Okay. Also, some matters arising from last night's park PRC. There were several requested actions from the PARC. Number 1, for the President to certify the genuine Agrarian Reform Bill, or House Bill number 555, as urgent or as administrative. It was discussed last night, but Executive Secretary has said that it'll be for study and for complete staff work. Okay. A second matter that was also requested from the park is the notation on the park Execom's approval on the extension of CAP PBD Window 3 towards enhancing ARB cooperative FAS agro-enterprise operations. These are basically to do with credit. Okay. DBM Secretary has suggested that all programs with credit components be submitted to Land Bank for study if it can actually be accepted by the bank instead of the actual agency, instead of DAR. Okay. So, and the third one, requested action from the park. Notation of the Parks Execom's approval on the strengthening of the Park Secretariat per committee's resolution number 27-13507. This has to do with strengthening the PARC itself, and it's significant to note that it has been brought back to life by PRRD after 10 years hiatus, and that there was no PARC during the immediate past presidents. This, in other words, they consider it justified, and there were no objections regarding the strengthening of the Secretariat. However, the study of the budget requirements will be studied by the DBM because the budget has increased from 15 million to 30 million. Just one last regarding the meetup of the president with the workers. Some quotes. After decades of consistent struggle against the epidemic of contractualization, workers may finally get their demand for its total prohibition, as the president, in his first audience with worker groups Monday evening, left no doubt that he's not only targeting ENDO, but indeed wants to categorically end all forms of contractualization involving middlemen agencies. The president also indicated that he was inclined to honor the request of labor to certify HB 4444 of Representative Raymond Mendoza as an urgent administration measure with certain provisions. As he commented, we were heartened by the pro-poor, pro-worker thinking of the president. We have not had this kind of bold, dramatic leadership in any previous administration before. The president was playing hardball and for keeps when he instructed the DOLE to issue a department order consistent with the agreements of the meeting and his directives that the policy is prohibition of both ENDO and agency contractualization and the restoration of direct hiring as the employment norm. Lastly, the president also assured the workers' group that he would be holding a separate meeting with the jeepney strikers who held the national strike on the controversial plan to phase out old jeepneys. It's significant to note that the 3-hour meeting was free-flowing, frank, and cordial, with the president applauded several times, and President Duterte staked his political capital on clear, unambiguous, principled positions that only a true reformer would take. Mendoza further commented, the safer path would have been for President Duterte to play safe and say balancing of interests. Instead, the president is blazing new trails so that other leaders will follow. We intend to track and monitor the government agencies who must now keep faith. We are open for a few questions.
Questions, statement? Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Sir, kailan po yung meeting dun sa mga jeepney strikers?
There's no definite date, but there's no definite date yet, as far as I know. But it will be held. It will be held. Yes.
Sir, ano lang, just a soundbite on bakit nag-decide si Presidente to meet the jeepney strikers personally? Because I don't think it has happened in the past na the President himself would meet with, you know.
Well, as the release said, it was an assurance that he would also listen to them because their own concerns were different from this DOLE.
Question, other issue? Maricel Halili, TV5.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, just a clarification. So does it mean that the department order coming with regards to the contractualization,
Yes.
which was issued by the Labor Department, will be amended following the meeting?
I think it will be. It's being facilitated, and there will be a few adjustments.
So what's the instruction of the President to Secretary Bello with regards to that, sir?
I think it's the president is supportive of both the contractualization. However, it needs to go through due process. Yeah, thank you. Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Hannah, microphone please.
Sir, regarding kay NIA Chief Peter Lavinia,
Yes.
ang sabi kasi ni CABSEC, nag-submit ng resignation. Sinasabi naman natanong namin yung mga tao sa labor group na nandoon sa meeting with the President, sinibak po siya ng Pangulo. So, sinibak po ba siya o nag-resign talaga si Peter Lavinia?
Basahin ko na lang sa inyo yung statement magmumula sa CABSEC. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sa office of the CABSEC. NIA Administrator Peter Lavinia has tendered his resignation amidst attempts to vilify, discredit, and malign him, and to spare the President from any embarrassment due to these attempts. It is with deep regret that our office receives this news and wishes him well in his next endeavors.
Sir,
tinanggap na rin ng Pangulo, sir?
Apparently.
Okay. Walang dahilan, sir?
Ang
Kasi sinabi
alin?
si Lavinia sa kanyang resignation.
According to the statement, he did it. It was a proactive action on his part.
Why daw, sir?
As I read, it is.
Okay.
As I read, it is to spare the president from any embarrassments. Yes, Mr.
Dexter
Dexter.
Ganibe.
Just a follow-up, sir, dun sa
Yes, sir.
kay ni Chief Peter Lavinia. Noong Friday ng gabi sa launching ng Expanded Bangsamoro Transition Commission, sa kanyang speech binanggit ng Pangulo, and I quote yung transcript niya, "When I said there will be no corruption, there will be no corruption. As a matter of fact, I fired last night one taga Davao for simply making a remark about and making a gesture of his hand, parang humihingi yung gesture ng hand ng Pangulo. Sabi ko, he's out. And I told him, even a whip of corruption talagang tatanggalin kita."
And your question?
Is it Lavinia he's talking about?
There's
And
no
wala
name.
namang ibang nasibak sa pwesto.
Okay. There's no mention made of a name, so let's leave it at that. Thank you. Next.
Joseph, may follow-up? Joseph, Henry Uri, DZRH.
Sir, pasensya na po para eksakto lang ho yung aming mailabas na balita.
Opo.
Kasi iba ho yung sinibak. Pag sinibak, ibig sabihin, naniwala ang Pangulo doon sa anomalya.
Okay.
Pag tinanggal, ibig sabihin, nagkusa siya. Pero hindi naman ho naniniwala pa ang Pangulo. So ano ho yung talagang totoo? Sinibak ho ba siya o nag-resign siya?
Let's go by what was stated. He tendered his resignation. Thank you.
Oh. So hindi ho sinibak.
Wala pa akong sinasabing sinibak.
Okay, other issue? Bombo, Raymond Tinasa.
Yes, sir.
The other issue, same issue?
See,
may,
other issues.
may Peter Lebe, Marisol Halili.
Sir, since the President already accepted the resignation of Administrator Lavinia, does it mean that he already lost his trust to Lavinia?
I don't know if that we can generate all these implications. But let's just say the man resigned and the president accepted it. Pure and simple. Thank you.
Sir, sino yung possible na pumalit kay Lavinia as NIA Administrator?
Antayin na lang po natin.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, related lang doon kay Ms. Lily.
Yes,
Totoo bang I don't know kung si General Rick Visaya daw po ang papalit?
That's interesting, but I don't know. Let's check that out.
Joseph Morong.
Sir, is the palace aware of mga bribery allegations as far as that case is concerned?
Against which? Against whom?
With regard to the resignation, sir, or the sacking of Lavinia, is the palace aware of any stories of bribery?
Let's put it this way. Whatever the palace understands or knows, leave it to them. However, what is quite crucial is the fact that the man resigned. That's it. It's simple.
Sir, considering that he played a crucial part in the campaign, was it easy for the president to let him go just like that?
I suppose it has its own difficulties, but a job is a job. The man resigned. Let's leave it at that. Thank you.
Other issue, Raymond Tinasa.
Ay, sir, good dun. Sir, ngayong araw, magkabutuhan sa Kamara yung death penalty. I understand one of the priority bill of the administration. With all the pressure being exerted by Congressman Alvarez, are you confident that the bill would finally hurdle all those against the proposed bill?
As the president would say, he would let the Senate and let the House undergo its own process. Let's just wait how they.
So you are advocating or allowing the vote of conscience to each member of the Congress?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I have no opinions. It's not my job.
Dexter Ganibe, follow-up?
Yes, sir. Related lang sa death. Makabayan Black, I don't know if they already filed this morning a resolution today urging President Duterte for appeal for executive clemency for OFW Jennifer Dalquez, who is facing execution in UE.
Yes, that's a matter for the DFA, and we will refer to that.
Okay.
Ang Pangulo ang nire-request nila, sir, na mag-executive clemency, ang magre-request ng executive
Okay.
clemency.
It will be the task of the DFA to further that request.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dexter. Laila Salaveria.
Sir, good
Yes, ma'am.
afternoon. Related sa death penalty.
Yes, ma'am.
When the bill passes Congress, it will be sent to the President for his signature. Will
Yes.
he be okay signing a death penalty bill that does not include plunder? Because corruption is a major program of his administration.
It will be his call. It will be his call to, I mean to say, whether you're asking him whether he'll be what?
Okay with signing with a death penalty bill that does not include plunder.
I wouldn't know what he would, how he would respond to it, but let's just wait for the process to unfold. Okay.
But what is his position? What kind of crimes does he want to be punishable by death?
Well, based on what do you call it? Based on the actual the way it's going right now, the Senate seems to feel that it should be focused only on illegal drugs. So, I don't know. The president has not made any comments regarding the matter.
But the return of the death penalty was a major, parang a priority bill of his. He mentioned this during the campaign.
That's right.
So what does he really want actually?
Well, he hasn't verbalized. He hasn't verbalized anything regarding the developments of the matter.
Sir, on another topic.
Yes, no problem.
About the park meeting.
Yes.
Was the executive order on the moratorium on land conversion discussed? Because it was mentioned back in September, but wala pa rin yata either.
Regarding the land conversion, you're asking about that? It's a headline in your papers today, right? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The Office of ES and CABSEC have separately convened interagency meetings to work on a draft executive order as a moratorium for the moratorium on acceptance of new applications for conversion of agri-lands. The fourth version is already with ES, and that's under study, and that should come out soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. AC Nichols.
Hi, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, just to get a reaction on a column published in PDI today, sir, by former Communications Undersecretary Manolo Quezon.
Yes.
Sir, he's saying that the administration is working for the president to proclaim a revolutionary government. And parang part daw nun, sir, yung naging rally in Luneta last Saturday. He's saying that the one working on this particularly is DILG Secretary Sueño, sir, because he also mentioned the issuance of a memo asking for supporters to go to Luneta, and that rally may not be the last daw, sir. Can we get a reaction?
Let me clarify. The opinion writer was suggesting that it is intention of the administration to create a revolution government.
Yes, sir.
As it is, it already is revolutionary. It's operating out of the box. I don't think it's really necessary to create anything like that.
He's saying that what the government wants is a type of government wherein the president, wherein there's a means for the president to permanently neutralize his critics or any institution agonizing over constitutional checks and balances by abolishing existing legal framework of government.
I think that's reading too much into what the president is doing. It's reading too much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dexter Ganibe.
Ayosek, may words na po ba tungkol dun sa meeting ni Pangulong Duterte kagabi kay COMELEC Chairman Bautista?
So far none. Wala po akong ano. Wala po
Kung ano yung sentro
napag-usapan.
ng pag-usap?
Wala po akong ano. I don't have any information regarding that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dexter. Tina Mendez, Philippine Star.
As a follow-up, sir, hindi ba medyo questionable yung timing ng meeting with the COMELEC chairman in view of reports na dun sa issue ng data privacy breach?
Questionable ang alin po?
Ang meeting with the president, why? What's the meeting?
Well, I wouldn't know whether it's questionable or not, but if I go by his appointments, some of these meetings just, have been programmed like 2-3 months ago. So it's, you can't really say. I mean, let's just put it, maybe it's destiny, all right?
Sir, yung data breach was last year pa.
Come again?
Si Commissioner, si Chairman Bautista is facing possible charges of data privacy breach. Last year pa yun.
Okay. Well, I cannot read any implications right now. I can check, I can find out.
Sir, why was he called for a meeting?
Usually, it's not the president who calls. It's usually the somebody who applies for an appointment.
So such Chairman Bautista asked for the meeting.
I'm not sure. He probably did. Maybe.
Okay, questions? Okay? Okay, thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Maraming
Thank you,
salamat po.
Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you, DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. Back to our main studio sa Radyo ng Bayan at PTV4.